Mata. My topic is about conceptual framework for monitoring and evaluation. In this topic, we will discuss about what is monitoring and evaluation framework, why it is important, what is conceptual framework, and different example of conceptual framework.
Conceptual framework for monitoring and evaluation. Let us know first the meaning of monitoring and evaluation framework. A monitoring and evaluation frameworks is both a planning process and a written product designed to provide guidance to the conduct of monitoring and evaluation. A clear framework is essential to guide monitoring and evaluation. A framework should explain how the program is supposed to work by laying out the components of the initiative and the order or the steps needed to achieve the desired result. Why are monitoring and evaluation frameworks important? First, assist in understanding and analyzing a program. You need to understand the nature of the project, including objectives, scope, assumptions, risks, budget, timeline, organization, and overall approach. Second, help to develop sound monitoring and evaluation plans and implementation of monitoring and evaluation activities. The proper implementation of what is planned is lead to a successful outcomes. Third, articulate program goals and measurable short, medium, and long-term objectives. Fourth, define relationships among inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and impacts. Fifth, clarify the relationship between program activities and external factors. The program activities are the inputs and activities or the process, and the external factors are the output or the outcomes. Sixth, demonstrate how activities will lead to desired outcomes impacts, especially when resources are not available to conduct rigorous impact evaluations. What is conceptual frameworks? Conceptual frameworks are diagrams that identify and illustrate relationships among relevant organizational, individual, and other factors that may influence a program and the successful achievement of goals and objectives. It explains, either graphically or in a narrative form, the main things to be studied are the key factors, concepts, or the variables, and the presumed relationship among them. Conceptual framework represents way of thinking about a problem or a study or a way of representing how complex things. Steps in developing conceptual framework. Before you prepare your conceptual framework, you need to do the following things. Number 1, choose your topic. Decide on what will be your research topic or your concept. Number 2, do a literature review. Review relevant and updated research on the theme that you decided to work. Preferably, use peer-reviewed and well-known scientific journals, as these are the reliable sources of information. Number 3, isolate the important variables. Identify the specific variables described in the literature and figure out how these are related. And number 4, generate the conceptual framework. Build your conceptual framework using your mix of the variables from the scientific articles you have read. Your problem statement serves as the reference in constructing the conceptual framework. In effect, your study will attempt to answer a question that other researchers have not explained yet. Your research should address a knowledge gap. Examples of conceptual frameworks. Here are the 3 templates of conceptual framework. First, the overlapping domains framework. the ecological framework, and sequential framework. Conceptual framework as overlapping domains. An overlapping domains frameworks shows how multiple factors must occur simultaneously for an outcomes to occur. This framework is useful when you are testing a hypothesis about in an interaction. Conceptual framework as ecological model. The ecological framework treats the interaction between factors at the different levels with equal importance to the influence of factors within a single level. This framework views interpersonal violence as the outcome of interaction among many factors at the four levels: the individual, the relationship, the community, and the society. Conceptual framework as sequential diagram. The sequential framework demonstrates cause of pathways. It is tempting to add lot of boxes and arrows to sequential diagram. This type of framework is helpful when your research question is testing a specific hypothesis.